Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Ethan Drew, and we're going to be doing another reaction and analysis today. Mostly just a reaction, though, as there's less analysis to be done here, as I am a little bit less qualified to be doing the analysis of the techniques being performed today. But we are going to be reacting to Dimash Kudaibergenov performing at his performance of Unforgettable Day at Gaku 2017. If I mentioned that correctly. Sorry, guys, if I butchered that. I have no intention of offending anybody, but I hope you guys enjoy the content. And for those of you who are wondering who I am, I'm a singer. I like to break down music. I like to interview singers here as well on the YouTube channel. That is my primary focus on the channel, is my own music and interviewing singers. But I know a lot of you guys like the reaction analysis series as well. So without further ado, let's see what Dimash has for us today in this performance. And I have been told reliably that this performance is where Dimash hits his record high note in whistle tones. Many people have said that this is a D8, which is, if it is the octave that I think it is, playing the tone inside my head. That's supposed to be like borderline impossible. Like, obviously people are saying it happens, so I'm sure it probably is possible, but we're starting to venture into uncharted territory as far as, like, has this ever been done before? So, without further ado, let's jump into this performance. And like I said, guys, on this channel, I do pause a lot to talk about what's going on in the music as well as what's taking place in the vocal performance. Techniques being used, really cool trinkets, if you will, that are found within the performance. So if you don't like pausing, I would recommend just listening to the original instead, or checking out some of my other content, because like I said, I do pause a lot. And this is for the education of the viewers who are a little bit less knowledgeable when it comes to vocal techniques and general basic elementary musical knowledge. Let's do this, shall we? Dimash has got the ladies lined up, man. Let's see. So we've got some really nice strings to start out here. Piano, okay. This is gorgeous, man. Let's see.
Bir көргенмен ғашық болдым өзіңе еркелеген балдай тәтті сөзіңе қылығыңмен баурап алдым.
So immediately something that I pick up on here, and I love this. Really intimate start here, but something that I'm really picking up on at the very beginning of this performance is that he's starting very small and very hushed with what he's doing here as far as like his volume level, and he's doing it in this hushed form, introducing a little bit of air in with his vocal sound, and it's a good way to really establish an intimate start to something. It's almost a whisper, but not quite. So, very, very nice choice to start off this performance.
жанымда қарай бердім нұрға толы жүзіңе.
As you guys saw, I closed my eyes a few seconds ago because I'm just sitting here taking it all in, making sure I'm kind of like not just focusing on the visuals, but really taking in what's happening with his voice and how he's presenting himself vocally. And I'm hearing a lot of beautiful things, and it's just, not only do I want to just focus audially, if that's even a word, what's going on in his voice, but I also am just taking it in because his voice is just so gorgeous, man. It's awesome, to say the least. Touch of percussion and guitar. F minor for the key. Ooh, okay. Something cool here. So we talked about how we had a bit of an intimate start to this performance here. And something that I also do want to call out is that you notice with the music here, it kind of almost paused and a lot of the instruments kind of cut out a little bit to where you just had a little bit going on, not much. Gives it a little bit of variety in the performance and keeps you on the edge of your seat just a little bit, makes you excited to really absorb what's going to happen next. So, did want to call that out. And there was also a change in the way he was singing here. So, the intimate, hushed, soft, velvety singing that he was doing at the beginning, there's been a timbre change. He is now putting a little bit more oomph behind his voice, a little more warmth, a little more power behind it. Obviously, leading towards another more intense part of the song. And it just adds to that variety in the performance and the music in itself. I harp on this all the time in all the videos that I do, but variety is key to making sure your listeners stay for the rest of the song. You don't have to change it too much, because if you change it too much, it also makes people feel chaotic when they're listening to the song and then they just want to switch it off. So, finding that right balance is key. Obviously, the right balance is happening here because, obviously I'm still listening and so many other people have been listening for the past few years. So, let's keep going. I love how well controlled Dimash's vibrato is. Obviously vibrato is a more natural thing that happens within our voices whenever we sing. Like it's not necessarily something we focus on doing, it just naturally happens. And but there's some people it's just some people that really hone in on what vibrato is and really bring out the amazing sound that vibrato can really have. And no, vibrato obviously is, like I said, it's a natural thing, but there are people who channel that vibrato and harness the power of that vibrato, if you will, and they make it sound even better than it does naturally, which is further proof that Dimash is quite possibly one of the greatest vocalists to ever live. If you were to base it purely off of his vibrato control, and it's just so on point. It's just like, and you don't necessarily have to be in control of vibrato per se, but he just takes it to a whole nother level. Like he focuses on it, he practices it, he harnesses what makes good vibrato. It's all there. Every bit everything is being done right with this vibrato, without a doubt. And by the way, I didn't give the right key earlier. It is in C minor, not F minor. Really nice pattern. Okay. All right then. Okay, so there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about here before we moved on. So there's a little bit of a build in the music here, right? And this is what we call a crescendo in music. And what a crescendo is a building in volume and intensity. And I'll point it out to you specifically. They change volume pretty quick there, and they do build some of that intensity. It's really cool, and I do like the percussion shift. It's a little bit different than what we were experiencing before. Percussion being the drums that you hear in the background. Well, very simple drum beat, right? And then there's like this really nice tom fill, and then it goes into something new and fresh, and I love it. And it goes back to what it was before, mostly. So, I mean, it's like, it's not a huge variation, but I love tom fills from a drum. And although this being a primarily vocalist focused performance, being Dimash here, I did want to call out that little tom fill. Now let's talk about Dimash's voice in this crescendo here. Okay. So he's up to an A flat G sharp 4 in full chest here. So, and another thing to call out is, like I said before, we have yet another crescendo, but obviously this is more in his voice. We see that he increases intensity and volume again. It was a bit of a, like we said, it was nice, hushed, and quiet, velvety smooth at the beginning. It was a little more air, a little more warmth to it, about halfway through that first section. And now we're at about a little bit past the midway point of the song, obviously, and we're seeing quite a bit more closure in the vocal cords. And although I say seeing, but we're hearing more closure in the vocal cords. And when you get more closure in the vocal cords, there's less air flowing through it. It gives it less of a whispery tone and more like this. It has more volume and intensity, if you're catching what I'm saying. And he just gives a really nice belty, just well-rounded A flat G sharp 4 belts there. And is beautiful. Beautifully done. And we all know that Dimash this is not the extent of his range, but that's still pretty high for a male voiced in pure chest voice. Well executed. Dimash, let's see what you got. Puts his in-ear back in. Looks like the audience is singing here. Background choir. Ooh, that's really, really cool. Okay, so something that I want to mention here, and I won't stop too much in this section because it's pretty clear that he's getting really high and he's going into a really big moment in the performance. So, but there was a timbre switch. There was a register change here where Dimash goes from full on chest voice into more of like a chest head voice mix and departure into full on head voice. And obviously, there's no way he'd be able to achieve the higher notes that he does without that mix or just a pure head voice. But head voice, in my personal opinion, is quite a difficult voice to really maintain pitch in and quality control because it's less supported than your actual physical chest voice. And again, Dimash is one of the better singers in the entire world and possibly in history, so this is no problem for him. But I just wanted to note that because he does it on a regular basis, and it's not easy to do. Ooh, okay, so we're up to an F sharp 5 and like a chest head voice mix at this point. I know we're going higher, but let's keep going. More chest voice. Still building in the background here. Okay, so that's a D5 or D6, I mean. Gosh, okay, let's keep going. Okay, so this is the fabled D8 that everyone was talking about. My God, that's crazy. Whistle tones are already difficult to access as a male singer anyways. Whistle tones usually start around the 6th octave. This is not the 6th octave. This is not the 7th octave. This is the 8th octave, which is nearing the top of the piano, folks. This is getting into tea kettle territory. How ridiculous, in a good way, can you possibly get with your vocal performances? I'm just... This is a vocal feat that will go down in history without a shadow of a doubt. Let's go back and enjoy this D8 one more time. Gosh. Folks. Like, this is so absurdly high that I want to question why he even did it in the first place. But when you're this talented of a singer, you can more or less do whatever you want. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. You can just do whatever you want. Like, Dimash, how dare you? How dare you sing higher than more or less any other singer in history as a male singer? And then, on top of that, generate one of the highest pitches ever made with the human body in general, in all of history. I'm disgusted. Incredible. All right, let's watch him finish up this performance and we'll wrap this video up. after this performance,
Үлкен рахмет!
guys, this has been absolutely mind-blowingly incredible. Okay, so that was my first time reaction to his performance of Ultimate Day. Making sure that I actually got the title of that correct. I believe that's correct, yes. So, that was my first time reaction to it, and a little bit of musical tidbits for you guys that want to know a little more about vocal performing and just music in general. If you guys like the content and you're new to the channel, I would appreciate a like. Drop a comment down below, even if it's just a smiley face. It helps with the algorithm. And if you guys are gaining musical knowledge, if I'm helping you better understand music at an elementary or intermediate level, I would very much appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button, turn the bell on so that way you never miss another upload. And if you guys are getting so much enjoyment and or understanding out of these videos for music and getting a better love for it, I would very much appreciate it if you would pay a visit to my link, or to my Patreon link in the description. It take you to my Patreon page where you have the ability to support me financially if you choose to, as little as $1 a month. If you want to, you don't have to do that in order to watch my content or enjoy it, but it's there in case you want to support me. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. I love you. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching today. This video was made possible by patrons like Miss Nancy Flesher. If you are interested in getting shoutouts like this at the end of my videos, make sure you hit the link in my description to go to Patreon, where you have the ability to do so. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I love you, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.